This feels like they nailed it. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, guys? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Another very exciting shoe showed up at my door, so you know I had to put it on and go for a run. And it's a shoe that you guys have been asking me about, and I didn't get it as early as some of the other shoe tubers did. But I'm happy to say that I have it now, and you're gonna find out all of my opinions on it today. And that shoe is the Hoka Mach 4. I'm not gonna lie, I did already run in the shoe once without the GoPro, so I'll try to keep my opinions to myself until later. But I will say that I'm excited to run it again. So we're gonna lace these up, we're gonna go for a run, and then we're gonna talk all about my first run impressions of the Hoka Mach 4. I'm back from my run, and now it's time that we talk all about the Hoka Mach 4. What I will say is that the people who pre-ordered this shoe will be very happy, and the people who didn't better do it now. Honestly, right off the bat, I'll tell you, I think this is my favorite Hoka shoe so far. And I have been a big lover of Cliftons for most of my running career, but this kind of takes the cake, and we're gonna talk all about why right now. Before we get started today, I do want to let you guys know, as always, that this shoe was provided to me by Hoka and Running Warehouse. However, neither company is going to see this before you. They can't tell me what to say. They're not paying me to say anything. All of my opinions are my own, and let me tell you, they are very positive so far. The Hoka Mach 4 comes in at 7.1 ounces for a women's size 8, but for my size, I actually have a men's size 9 here, which is the equivalent to a 10.5 women's. This shoe came in at 8.2 ounces. So it's only a little bit heavier than the Rincon and slightly lighter than the Clifton. So we're in that middle ground, and honestly, like in hand, it barely feels, let me grab it. Yeah, it barely feels heavier than this. It has a 5mm drop. I don't know the exact measurements, but I do know that it's 5mm. And good news, the Hoka Mach 4 to me is true to size. The upper of the Hoka Mach 4 is an engineered mesh. It looks very similar to what we saw in the Carbon X2. It's quite breathable, very soft. In the midfoot, we don't have a ton of overlays, but we are using that Hoka logo as one, I suppose. And in the back, we have a sturdy heel counter, and it also has what Hoka is calling an anatomical heel tab for easier slipping on of the shoe. I was kind of skeptical about how the upper of the shoe would feel because I have had some issues with volume and various different Hokas that I've tried, and especially because this is a men's size 9, I thought maybe I would have an issue, but I didn't, and I think this shoe fits better than any Hoka that I've tried recently. I have plenty of room in the toe box. It's not too big, it's not too small. Width-wise, I'm just fine. And it feels pretty accommodating in the midfoot. Like, I have a narrow foot, but if I did have a wide foot, I feel like there would be some room here for you to be comfortable. Like I said, it is breathable. I did feel some air passing through that forefoot and that toe box, which maybe now isn't so great, but in the warmer months, which are hopefully coming, we will appreciate that. The laces are flat, not too stretchy. They are a bit long though, but I was still able to get a good lockdown through the midfoot. And I think what contributes to that as well is the tongue. It is gusseted. It's a thin piece of fabric, nothing crazy, not padded, but the gusset in this shoe just gives the upper the ability to wrap around your foot, and I think it's gonna be pretty customizable for people. We do have some padding around the ankle collar, just enough, perfect amount. And another thing I wanna point out is that I didn't have any heel slippage in this shoe. I had no issues with hot spots, irritation, blisters in the Mach 4, which I was very happy about. And I think they really dialed in their uppers here. I like it better than the Clifton's upper by far. I like it better than the Rincon's upper, way better than the Rocket X's upper, and I'd say even better than the Carbon X2's upper, which I think was heading in the right direction. This feels like they nailed it. But that's not the only thing they nailed. And in fact, that doesn't even scratch the surface of what they've nailed with this shoe. The real star is the midsole. So let's talk about that right now. So we got a couple things here. First things first, Hoka is using their new ProFly midsole foam. They call this their intelligent cushioning, and basically it's designed to provide a soft cushion landing, but also provide some energy return. We also have an early stage metarocker here to just help you roll forward in your stride, a technology we love. And we also have the extended heel in the back here with the swallowtail construction. Basically what that is the back of the heel separates into two pieces kind of. And that's basically to help absorb shock. Instead of it being all under your heel, it kind of disperses into two areas. It also just helps with stability, which we always appreciate. Yeah, believe the hype, because this midsole material feels so good. It is incredibly soft and it absolutely bounces back. I mean, you can even feel it walking around in the shoe. You don't need to run in it to feel that energy return. And I honestly am surprised that it has the bounce and the liveliness that it does, because if you like dig your fingers into the midsole, like the ProFly in the back, it feels so soft. It's almost like clay. But I think what aids in giving this shoe the bounce that it has, and usually we talk about the outsole second, and I guess we still will, but I think the outsole of this shoe does an amazing job of providing a little bit of firmness and also that spring back. It's using this rubberized EVA instead of real rubber to just create more durability under your foot. But I also think that just the combination of the ProFly foam and this rubberized EVA are the perfect chef's kiss in giving us the exact ride that we're all wanting from a shoe. In fact, I think this version of ProFly foam in the Mach 4 would almost be too soft if it didn't have this rubberized EVA. So many times you see shoes that have a good midsole material, but the outsole kind of deadens the ride a bit, and that couldn't be more opposite in this case. Plus, you add in the early stage metarocker and you have a winner here. I mean, there's no contest. My run was mostly at a tempo pace, but I did have some easier miles in there, and at any pace, it felt great. And it was also great to see that this shoe is supposed to be a daily trainer, but can handle tempo days with ease. I truly have not been this excited about a shoe since the Endorphin Speed. Like, that's how much I like this shoe. And that shoe is the GOAT. But this also might be the GOAT. Can there be two GOATs? I have no doubt that this shoe can do long distance, marathon distance. I'm completely confident in saying that with just one run under my belt. I know a lot of you are going to ask me what this shoe feels like on foot compared to the Rincon and the Clifton, so I did put them on side by side to just give you an idea. I didn't run in them side by side, but I walked around for long enough and I think it can give you a general gist. So let's do it. Compared to the Rincon, the Mach 4 is a lot softer, and I'd also say bouncier for sure. You can feel it just walking around the house. This feels a little bit lower to the ground, and when you have these two shoes on together, you can really feel that bucket seat sort of concaveness that the Rincon has that we've talked about. When both of these shoes were on my foot at the same time, this suddenly didn't feel as magical. In comparison to the Clifton 7, the Mach 4 feels a little bit lower to the ground, like maybe there's less underfoot, and it definitely feels more bouncy. This feels like you have a whole bunch of cushioning under your foot just stacked up there, and you feel a little higher off the ground, but you certainly don't feel that energy return just by walking around the house that you do in this shoe. We already kind of talked about the outsole, but we'll briefly go over it again. Hoka is using a rubberized EVA here instead of traditional rubber. Hoka's done this before, and I've really had no issues with those shoes. Could it be better with regular rubber? Sure, but I'd rather this and have the shoe be as lightweight as it is. I took this shoe out on 2 dry days, but on sand and pavement, I didn't have any problems with slipping backwards or anything like that. And like we already touched upon, I think that it does a phenomenal job of complementing the midsole foam under your foot. As far as the durability of the outsole goes, I am seeing a little bit of wear, probably cosmetic on the pattern, but I don't think it's anything too concerning. Obviously, after 50 miles, we'll see where we're at, but I don't think it'll be too bad. And I love this outsole. I don't think I've loved an outsole so much since ever. The Hoka Mach 4 is $129.95 on runningwarehouse.com. It's available for pre-order and it ships in March. So it's coming up, guys. Get your pair. I think $130 is fair for this shoe. I would love to see like $120, but $130 is pretty standard, so I'll take it. If you're interested in pre-ordering this shoe on runningwarehouse.com, I will put a link in the description of this video. Keep in mind, that's just an affiliate link. It doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel, so I can put you onto these shoes before they come out, because this is one that I don't think you want to miss. I am very excited to take this shoe to 50 miles. I know I have a lot of 50-mile reviews that I got to get to, but I have a feeling that this one is going to happen sooner than a lot of the other ones. And something else that I was thinking while I was out there running in this shoe is everyone talks about using carbon-plated shoes for marathons and this and that. Like, yeah, that's great, but honestly, the 2 contenders so far of shoes that I would personally run my next marathon in are probably the Endorphin Speed from Saucony or the Mach 4. I know it might be early to give this shoe that credit, but I'm gonna go out on a whim here. Well guys, that concludes my first run impressions of the Hoka Mach 4. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit that notifications bell down below so you can find out every time I upload a new video. Here's another case of let's put this colorway on this shoe. I have some more videos for you guys next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time.